What is going on, everyone? Luca Rosano here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. The NBA season is back, which means it is time for one of these videos. Every single year for the past couple of years, I've done these way too early NBA playoff prediction pieces and giving you my award winners well in advance. And then as time passes on, I'll get to see how good these predictions aged or how horribly these predictions aged, but that's the fun in it. So without further ado, we are going to dive right into it. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, plus turn on the post notifications for more videos just like this. I'm going to start with my award winners, and we are going to go from MVP all the way to Coach of the Year. And starting with MVP, I got Luka Doncic winning it. Luka is going to be one of the favorites to win this award. I think he is poised to win this award. We saw what he did in the postseason. We know what he's capable of doing just from an overall perspective. I think this is the year that Luka finally wins that first MVP trophy, so he will take care of business with that. Moving on now to Defensive Player of the Year, I think it's going to go back to Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is now a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think he's going to have a big first season with them, especially on the defensive end. So Rudy Gobert is going to once again win this award. Moving on now to Sixth Man of the Year, I got Jordan Poole. Look, Jordan Poole got punched in the face. If there's one guy who's going to be motivated and who's going to be hyped to prove himself, to prove his worth going into this season, it is Jordan Poole. I think Poole's going to have a big year, and I think he will win this Sixth Man of the Year award. Going on now to Most Improved Player. Okay, so Most Improved Player, this was a tough one to me. So ultimately, I'm going to go with Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers. I think Maxey is going to take that leap, but if you want a sleeper pick, Precious Achiuwa of the Toronto Raptors. There's great value there, but I'm not going to go out on a limb here. I do think it will be Tyrese Maxey. I just like how Maxey played last season, and I think Philadelphia as a whole is going to have a big season. More on them later. So I'm going to go with Tyrese Maxey. Rookie of the Year, I think, is not going to be something that goes down to the wire. I think this is going to be decided relatively early, and I got Paolo Banchero. I think Paolo is clearly the best rookie of this draft class, and he will prove that early. So I got him winning that. And then finally, Coach of the Year, I got Ty Lue winning. And you'll see later on why I think this will happen. I think the Clippers will have the best record in the Western Conference. That will segue us now to my predictions. And here are the teams I have making the playoffs in a nutshell. First, starting with the West, I got the Clippers with the #1 seed. I do think they will have the best record in the West. I think it's all going to come together for the Clippers as Kawhi Leonard is healthy. He's back, and we know the Clippers are one of the deepest teams in the NBA. #2, I got the Nuggets. I think having Jamal Murray coming back, this Nuggets team is going to pick up from where they last left off when they made it to the Western Conference Finals during the bubble season. Jokic, he's going to be one of the runner-ups for MVP most likely. I mean, he's trying to win it for a third straight season. I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, but I do think Denver is going to have a very good season collectively, and they will move up the standings this year and get that 2 seed. I got the Warriors third. I think they're going to be in the same spot they were a season ago. I got the Pelicans fourth. I'm very, very high on the Pelicans. There's no other team that I think is going to take a bigger leap than the Pelicans this season. Zion's back. I think Ingram's going to have himself a good year. You look at this team, what they did against the Suns last year in the first round of the playoffs. I think this Pelicans team is destined for big things. A lot of people are high on them for many reasons, and it's going to come down to if Zion can stay healthy and if he and Ingram can do big things together. But I just think from a defensive standpoint, team chemistry standpoint, the Pelicans are going to take the biggest leap, and they are going to get that 4th seed. The Timberwolves, I got 5th. I think they're going to have a good season. Obviously, they got Rudy Gobert. I think Ant's going to take a leap as well. Mavs, I got 6th. They lose Jalen Brunson, which I think will be big for them. And I just think the West is so stacked that yeah, the Mavericks might have to just settle for a 6 seed here. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, and you guys are probably looking at this like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you crazy? I got the Suns 7th. I think the Suns are going to have the biggest setback, fallback this season. I do think they're going to be in the play-in when it's all said and done. And then another surprise here, I got the Grizzlies 8th. I think the Grizzlies are also going to fall back. And you look at the Grizzlies, I don't particularly like their depth. And I think going into this season, there's so many good teams in the West that we could see some fallbacks. Going to the Eastern Conference, no real big surprises here, I guess. I mean, the Celtics 1, Bucks 2, Sixers 3. I think a lot of people have that. It just depends on the order that you have it in. I got the Nets 4th. I do think the Nets are going to be a top 4 team this season. I really like them with Ben Simmons. I got the Raptors 5th. Raptors are going to be in the thick of things here. They're going to be in the middle of the pack. I got the Heat 6th, so this is probably the biggest surprise in the East. I mean, the Heat were number 1 last season. I do have them taking a step back, just like the Suns. I got the Cavs 7th. I know they traded for Donovan Mitchell, but the East is so good that I really don't see the Cavs moving up any higher than this. And then finally, I got the Hawks getting that last playoff spot. DeJounte Murray, Trae Young. I'm not super high on them, but I think they'll do just enough where they do make the playoffs. So now that we got the playoff teams out of the way, let's get into the matchups and who I got winning the 2023 NBA championship. And we're first going to start in the Western Conference here. Clippers, Grizzlies. I got the Clippers winning this series. Grizzlies will be out in the first round. It will be a disappointing season for them. I got the Nuggets taking on the Suns. This is where I'm going to get creative. This is where I'm actually going to go with the Suns to shut up some of the naysayers and to upset the Nuggets and make it onto the next round as the 7th seed. I do think the Suns, who will enter this playoff series as an underdog, and people are going to be writing them off, I think they will rise to the occasion and make it onto the next round. Warriors, Mavs rematch of the Western Conference Finals. I think the Warriors take it again. Luka is going to do all he can, but I think this is a series where the Mavs are going to realize they got to get Luka more help, and by more help, I mean another bona fide all-star to play alongside Luka. Pelicans, Timberwolves, this is going to shape up to be one of the most exciting, most fun first-round playoff matchups. I got the Pelicans winning a barn burner, though. I do think they prevail, and I got the Pelicans moving on in 7. So that's going to set us up with some pretty intriguing second-round matchups. First, Clippers, Pelicans. Can the Pelicans upset the Clippers and make it to the Western Conference Finals? I don't think so. Clippers will get back to the Western Conference Finals, assuming they are healthy. This is going to be one of the best teams in the NBA. Now in the bottom half of the bracket, we're going to get the matchup that everybody thought we were going to get last season, and that is the Warriors and Suns in the NBA playoffs. This is going to be a great series. I think the Suns are going to really show up here. I know I talked about them having a disappointing regular season, but I do think they're going to have a strong showing in the playoffs, but they will fall short to the Golden State Warriors, and that's going to set us up with a seismic Western Conference Finals between the Clippers and the Warriors. I know this is a very popular pick amongst many people, but I think the two best teams in the West are these two teams, and they will ultimately meet up for a chance to make it to the NBA Finals. So who do I have winning this epic 7-game series? I'm going with the Claw, Kawhi Leonard and company, as the Clippers will make it to the NBA Finals in search of its franchise's first ever NBA championship. Let's now move on over to the Eastern Conference. Celtics, Hawks, first round. The Celtics will move on to the second round despite not having Ime Udoka as their head coach for this season. I think the Celtics will not be fazed by that, and they will move right on to the second round of the playoffs. Bucks, Cavs is going to be one of the best first round playoff matchups in the East. I think the Cavs are going to test the Bucks here, or will go to 7, but I got the Bucks moving on to the second round as well. Sixers Heat rematch of the second round from last season. This time, though, I got the Sixers winning, assuming Joel Embiid is healthy. James Harden looks healthy as well, and the Sixers have a bench now. I really like what they did this offseason. I got the 76ers moving on through. And now this is where it's going to get interesting. Nets, Raptors, this is going to be a fantastic first-round playoff series. Put it this way, I have the Raptors being a second-round playoff team this season, but it will come down to who they are matched up against in the first round. And going based on my standings here, they would be situated 5th and matched up against the Brooklyn Nets. I would not particularly like this matchup for the Toronto Raptors. They're going up against the Nets. I know a lot of people are going to say, Luka, how can you be high on the Nets again? This team crumbled. KD doesn't want to be there. I think it will be different this season. I think Ben Simmons coming back healthy. He doesn't need to be a scorer out there. He just needs to be good defensively. He needs to facilitate. They got Joe Harris back healthy. Kyrie Irving, no distractions with the vaccine and all that. You got KD. I think he will be a man of business when it's all said and done. I think this is going to be a big year for the Brooklyn Nets. So I do have the Nets getting on through. So that's going to set us up with some pretty intriguing second round playoff matchups. We're going to have the Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets. I got the Nets beating the Celtics this time around. They're not going to get swept like they did last season. Circumstances will be different. Momentum will be different. Brooklyn will get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And who will they face? I got the Bucks and the Sixers here in the second round. Who will win this matchup? I'm going with the Philadelphia 76ers. It's been a big year for Philadelphia already, man. The Eagles are perfect at the time of me recording this. The Flyers are perfect at the time of me recording this. The Phillies are in the NLCS at the time of me recording this. Philadelphia sports is at an all-time high. I do think the Sixers team will finally get past the second round and they will make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And this will set us up with a matchup that everybody wants to see. A matchup that will determine who won the James Harden for Ben Simmons trade. Brooklyn taking on Philadelphia, two teams that have had major droughts when it comes to making it to the NBA Finals. Who will win this series? I'm going with the Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons will get his sweet revenge against the city of Philadelphia, and the Brooklyn Nets will make it to the NBA Finals. Yes, I have the Nets making it back to the NBA Finals. This is like the third straight year I've picked them in the NBA Finals, but I just have a feeling it will be different for this team this time around. But hold your horses, because I don't have the Nets winning the championship. I think we will get Clippers Nets in the finals, but the Los Angeles Clippers will win the NBA championship. They will win this series in 6. The Clippers will finally win a championship, as they will get one of what the Lakers have many of, and Kawhi Leonard will show up once again. But I'm actually going to go with Paul George winning the NBA Finals MVP. I think Paul George is going to be magnificent during these playoffs, and especially magnificent in the NBA Finals, as he, Kawhi, and that great supporting cast will be enough for the Clippers to raise the championship. They are one of the title favorites for a reason, and I think this is the year the Clippers finally get it done with Kawhi and company. So that's how I see things shaping up for the 2022-2023 NBA season. Here are my way too early NBA playoff predictions and also my NBA award winners. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you see in the comment section down below. Nonetheless, it is sure to be one of the best NBA seasons in recent memory. That is all for me, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see how this video ages in a couple months' time. But this is Luca Rosano signing off. Hit that like, subscribe on your way out, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.